My name is Ulla Ahokas, and I'm here to add a few more details to the already started Reipa Sports Club account. And I'm going to first mention the ladies gymnastics. The ladies gymnastics group was started in the fall of 1957 in preparation for the Laulujuhlat, which later became known as Suurjuhlat, Finnish Canadian Grand Festival, that were to be held in Port Arthur in 1958. The group basically met to prepare a rhythmic gymnastics program for these festivals, and a picture that we have is for this first group. Later others were added. The group was led by Eva Tervonen from Kokkola, and she became to Canada also in 1958 and had an extensive background in rhythmic gymnastics from Finland. She later became Eva Likvald. Girls group was later added, and that was looked after by myself, then Ulla Jämsä, and now Ulla Ahokas. And both groups traveled to the various festivals in throughout mainly Ontario every summer. And we joined in the group gymnastics that had members from the other Finnish sports clubs in Toronto, Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, Timmins, etc. So there was also a large mass performance outside, and many times each group would perform at the concerts or in indoor events as well. And this was also always a highlight for the summer. Other groups that traveled to the festivals were the track and field team and Finnish baseball team and the soccer team. And the baseball team also competed with the other Finnish baseball teams in Ontario through tournaments that were held in various locations, usually about 2 each summer. The soccer team participated locally in the local soccer league. The hockey and broomball teams also were part of the local endeavors, and the track and field team was comprised of generally the Reipas members. Sometimes added individuals would be brought in for relay teams, etc. The cross-country skiing was started by Reipas right in 1956 and got a boost in 1957 from the many new immigrants who already had skied in Finland. And Reipas was instrumental in sending many of these people to Canadian championships, really without being without the rest of the community in Thunder Bay or Port Arthur being aware of their existence. The first time this was highlighted was at 1962 Canadian Championships in Midland, where Reipas sent a team of 7 skiers to Midland, and the team, each member of that team brought home a medal or 2. So we were on the map, so to speak. And then chair of Lake Superior Ski Division, Mike Gazelle, was surprised to find that his city had this caliber cross-country skiers and never stopped talking about it till the end of his days. So it was. I myself was member of that team, so it remains very clear in my mind, and it was a wonderful weekend of skiing. And these things continued right into the 70s with Reipas skiers participating at the national level. Kari Jämsä became Canadian junior champion one year, and both Erkki and Kari Jämsä attended a number of Canadian championships, from which they usually brought home a medal or 2. Other skiers Later on, people who had arrived from Finland later joined this group of athletes and continued to bring in medals. So cross-country skiing was one of the major sports that Reipas tried to keep up as long as possible. Going back to cross-country skiing, Reipas's skiing events first took place at Centennial Park, where Reipas members were instrumental in preparing and maintaining the trails for a number of years, and it wasn't until the Finlandia Club was formed and the purchase of the Tapiola property happened that the ski trails at Tapiola were then became the home for the Reipas skiing group. During the time of chairmanship of Ulla Ahokas, the lighted trails were established, and these were the first ones, I believe, in Canada. Up until then, there were no lighted trails, and they were a popular skiing site for both athletes who wanted to train as well as families to come and ski. So, as I said earlier, skiing was one of the main events that Reipas like to excel in. Thank you. My name is Ulla Ahokas, and I'm going to give the background to Keski-Pohjalaisten Kerho, its beginnings, that I have copied from some past minutes, and give you just as far as the building of Pohjanpirtti at Surprise Lake. So I'm ready to start. Okay, in 1951, 27 people were called together by Paavo Lehtonen, who later became chair of Keski-Pohjalaisten Kerho, as it was then known, and later KP Club. An annual meeting was held in 1959 on the 29th of July, after which there were a few get-togethers, but no actual organization of any kind of activities, and the years 1955, 1956 went without any events at all. Then in the minutes books, Paavo Lehtonen had made the following notation. I'll read it in Finnish first. Kesällä 1957 saapui Port Arturin seudulle lähes 100 henkeä Keski-Pohjanmaalta. On suuret toiveet, että tästä joukosta saadaan runko kerhon vireillä pitämiseksi, P. Lehtonen. He's saying that approximately 100 people arrived from Keski-Pohjanmaa to Port Arthur during the summer of 1957, and we have great hopes that from this group we'll find a core group to carry on with the Keski-Pohjalaisten Kerho or KP Club. In 1958, the new chair for the organization was chosen, and Tapani Erkkilä was that person. Secretary was Taina Leskilä. And during the following winter, the Kerho organized events for Laulujuhlat in Port Arthur, which was the current Finnish-Canadian Grand Festival, a picnic, and a picnic was held at Kansallisseura's camp on the other end of Surprise Lake. To raise funds for the upcoming Christmas party at Italian Hall, Finnish movie was shown. It's called Rosvoroope, and this was one of the first large fundraising events. That same year, a radio program was done for Keski-Pohjanmaan maakuntaradio to send Christmas greetings to friends and relatives in Finland. And I can remember that event with people lined up outside to the outside door waiting for their turn to have this teary-eyed event where everybody's crying and missing their families. At that time, a membership had grown to 52. By the way, which I forgot to mention at the beginning, in 1951 it was 27, so it had almost doubled in this first 6 months or so in 1957. In 1959, at a July 5th meeting, a discussion was brought up about buying a property on Surprise Lake from a member, Väinö Mäkelä. This would be to start a new keskipohjaiset own place at the lake. On July 12th, another meeting was held with unanimous agreement to proceed with the purchase. The cost of the property was $2,000, $1,000 of which was cash, and an additional $1,000 was gotten with an interest-free loan over 4 years. The first work B that was on July 19th at the camp, starting at 10 a.m. It turned out that the organization itself was unable to buy the property, so 3 members of the group, Paavo Lehtonen, Erkki Kesänen, and Taina Leskelä, were the official purchasers of the property, and then later turned the property over to the Kerho. Plans had been started for the dance pavilion, and work began on that every Sunday afternoon. And numerous fundraisers were organized for the purposes of the building. First two during that winter of 1959 and 1969, September 6, 1959, and January 31st, 1960, films were shown at the Finnish Labour Temple. And then prior to those, actually, on October 6th, there was what was called surprise dance, at which entertainers were from Finland and Canada. Tapio Rautavaara, a very popular pop singer from Finland, arrived, along with pianist Erkki Ertamo, and the Hansen sisters from Kenora also performed at that event, playing violins. One of these sisters became a well-known violinist with the Toronto Symphony. At this time, on October 6th, membership was 121, and the ladies auxiliary had been organized to start sewing bees. In 1960, the building was completed in June, and the hydro was connected on June 17th. The first Juhannus dance was held, and the name Pohjanpirtti became official. Kerho also became a member of Suomi-seura, which later on was helpful in funding the lighting system in the building. Now the membership had grown to 162, and during that first summer, 6 dances were held. Sewing bee was changed to coffee gatherings, and so that way everybody, both men and women, could attend. And during these gatherings, generally bingo was played to raise money. This in 1960, the Christmas event was held at Italian Hall with a play that was done by members, and Christmas Santa Claus was present at the event, and the dance was played by Pauli Arvo band. During its existence, Pohjanpirtti became a favorite place for 2 annual events, 2 annual sporting events. One, the winter one, being the cross-country ski races, and in the summertime, the Surprise Lake Road Race. Both of these attracted numerous top-level athletes from locally and from across Canada, and the events were for all age groups, so the numbers were quite large. Over the years, activities went on for probably 10-15 years at about the same level of activity. Then the people who had been instrumental in building the place started to age, and the favorite summer place, gathering place, sauna place wasn't quite as important anymore as in the early years. So memberships began to dwindle, and dances were not quite as popular anymore. And subsequently, with the lack of activity, it was difficult to hold on to the place. Taxes piled up, and it became evident that the place could not continue anymore. And in 2013, a decision was made to see if it was possible to revive some of the activities. A $10,000 loan was taken to fix up some of the things, and a road, and a little bit of painting and things like that. And two dances were held along with Nordic Walk, which had small attendance, and it was decided that this would not be a solution. And then on February 28th, 2014, Pohjanpirtti was sold, bringing an end to this phase of the club's activities. After that, the funds that were received from the sale have been used in the community based on the bylaws of the club that say that anything that the decision was made to continue in the same vein as the club had, where our interest would be in culture and sports, and in that way we have been able to encourage other groups to carry on with their work. Sizable funds have been given to Hildale Lutheran Church, the Oras Chamber Choir, and the Pelimanni Orchestra. Other monies have been given to the Finnish Canadian Grand Festivals, some concerts. Now, one of them, recent ones, Petri Laaksonen from Finland performed at Hildale Lutheran Church. Part of his event was funded by Keski-Pohjalaisten Kerho. And during the Suomi 100 year, we have carried on a program of Eskolan kesäteatteri plays once a month, in cooperation with Friends of Finnish Labour Temple and Bay Street Film Festival, to show Finnish language play movies for the entertainment of the older generation whose main language is Finnish. My name is Ulla Ahokas. I came to Canada from Finland in 1957 with my family, and the family became members of Keski-Pohjalaisten Kerho, or KP Club, immediately. And I will talk about the beginnings of Keski-Pohjalaisten Kerho and its early years of activities, and then the very end ones today. So I will start. Keski-Pohjalaisten Kerho was established on July 22nd, 1951, at a meeting called together by Paavo Lehtonen. The 27 individuals present became the founding members. The next annual meeting was held on July 29, 1954. A 1957 entry by Paavo Lehtonen in the minutes box reads as follows. Kesällä 1957 saapui Port Arthurin seudulle lähes 100 henkeä Keski-Pohjanmaalta. On suuret toiveet, että tästä joukosta saadaan runkokerhon vireille pitämiseksi. Translated. During the summer of 1951, nearly 100 people from Keski-Pohjanmaa arrived in Port Arthur. Hopefully support will be found from this group for continuity of the organization. In 1958, Tapani Erkkilä was chosen chair, with Taida Leskilä being the secretary. Activities for the year included helping to organize the Laulu- and Urheilujuhlat, later known as Suurijuhlat, or the Finnish-Canadian Grand Festival, a picnic for members at the Kansallisseura camp, and a movie, Prosvorope, to raise funds for a Christmas party at Italian Hall. A taping of Christmas greetings for the provincial radio in Finland was held at the Finnish Labour Temple. Membership at the end of the year was 52 individuals. In 1959, on July 5th, a meeting was held to discuss the purchase of property at Surprise Lake from Väinö Mäkelä. Unanimous agreement to proceed was reached on July 12th for the price of $2,000. $1,000 of that was paid in cash, with remainder being paid interest-free during the next 4 years. The purchase was done by members Paavo Lehtonen, Erkki Kesänen, and Taina Leskilä, as the organization itself was unable to buy the property. They would later turn the property to the club. Plans for a dance pavilion were started, with work beginning on July 19th at 10 a.m. Fundraising during 1959 included a film at Finnish Labour Temple on September 6th and a surprise dance on October 6th with entertainers Tapi Rautavaara, a singer from Finland, Hansen sisters, violin players from Kenora, and pianist Erkki Ertamo from Finland. A ladies sewing group was also started to raise funds. The end of the year membership was 121. In 1960, the pavilion was completed in June and was named Pohjanpirtti. The first Juhannus dance was held with attendance of around 700 people. Another 5 dances took place that summer, and membership had grown to 162. A play was part of the Christmas party, as well as a dance, with Pauli Arvo providing the music. Dances, picnics, summer spent with friends continued throughout the years. Pohjanpirtti also soon became the home of 2 annual sporting events, the Pohjanpirtti ski races and Surprise Lake Road Race. These events were popular among local as well as out-of-town athletes and continued for well over 25 years. Pohjanpirtti was also home to the Bible and confirmation camps for the Finnish Lutheran Church at Bay and Seacourt. Dufferin and Seacourt. The Finnish Seniors Group, or Ystävyyskerho, held many picnics at the Pohjanpirtti. In the 1990s, participation in activities declined, and even though efforts were made to revitalize, they proved unsuccessful. On February 28, 2014, Pohjanpirtti was sold, bringing an end to this phase of the club's activities. The club itself has continued to function. Financial support have been given to Hildel Lutheran Church, Hoito Restaurant, Pelimanni Orchestra, and Oras Chamber Choir, as well as the Finnish Canadian Grand Festivals. Finlandia Association has received assistance in the organization of dances, with proceeds going to the association. The club has organized 3 Suomi 100 projects in 2017 with the help of Friends of Finnish Labour Temple and Bay Street Film Festival. The year-long Eskolan kesäteatteri movies have been organized monthly, documenting the oral history of the past of the post-World War II Poraitu Finnish clubs, congregations, choirs, and other organizations has been ongoing. Juhannus was highlighted with participation in Finland's broadcasting company Yle's Hula Hula Dance Challenge. The aim today is to use the funds to continue the club's activities in culture and sport as outlined in its bylaws for the benefit of the community. Thank you.